Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your weekly summation for all the news, releases, and goings on from the simulation world from the week that was. Well, this week it's actually the last 2 weeks, because as many of you know, there was no NovaWrap last week, and that was because I'd been working with and been taking part and streaming as part of the Flight Angels charity event, and we'll talk more about that and at the end of the episode. But yeah, it was. I hadn't slept for over 40 hours by that point, so I was like, you know what? I took the weekend off, so there you go. Anyway, but I'm back this week with all the releases that took place in our simulation world from the last 2 weeks. So we've got quite a few to go through. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we're going to start this week with some sporting titles this week. So we're going to be down on terra firma. So first of all, we've got NBA 2K17, which is obviously a fancy new stage speak way of saying 2017. Anyway, details on this are really light. Like, really light. Like, the summation of it on the website and on the rest of it is fairly limited, basically just saying how good the last one was, so obviously automatically the new one's going to be better. Anyway, so yeah, it kind of is interesting. It's come from the guys over at 2K, so, which are, got, pretty good stuff to have on that one. It's looking interesting if you're into that kind of thing. As I said, information on it is actually really light, like really light, like sweet FA. It basically says yes, you get cool stuff, and the graphics are cooler, and that's kind of it. So, I'm not sure exactly what this is all about. I'm assuming from the fact that if you buy the legendary editions, you get like some for the VC or like in-game currency. So I'm assuming there's microtransaction as well, but for that. But anyway, I'll be honest. I don't play sports simulation games. But if you do, you probably gonna want this apparently. But to be fair, the graphics actually look pretty damn awesome. I will give them that. The graphics do look pretty damn good. So there you go. If you are interested, this has come out across multiple platforms. This is available on Xbox, PS4, Xbox One, PS4, and of course on PC as well for your simulation basketball enjoyment. Available now. Alrighty, continuing on with the sporting theme this week. To start off with, we've got Pro Evolution Soccer 2017 came out. So the Pro Evolution series is again, I don't know a lot about sporting games, but the Pro Evolution Soccer series I do remember stumbling around with like quite a few years ago. This is from Konami. It's got a good, strong pedigree. The PES series, it really does. And this one again is looking pretty slick. Again, the graphics are looking pretty damn slick. This one includes a whole heap of teams from all over the world. Amazing new visuals for this one. They are touting a few different things, like you've got a better adaptive AI, so it actually looks at how you play and actually will adapt to that, which is a very interesting and kind of cool bit of feat of programming, more than anything else, I think, for that one. But yeah, so it is, and it seems to be leveraging off a lot more physics engines as well with their real touch thing. Basically, it's physics. So it's going, yes, okay, if the ball hits a solid object, i.e. a player, at a certain angle, a certain speed, it's going to react in a fairly predictable way. So, that's cool, that's good. Nice to see physics coming into sporting games, that's for sure. But yes, available now for your simulation pleasure. If you're more of a soccer nut for your sporting games rather than a basketball nut, they're available now on Steam and on consoles as well. Alrighty, sticking on, of course, on the terrestrial level and sticking with sports, but getting this time into the world of motorsports. So, the guys, Valentino Rossi, the game, which we featured on the NovaWrap a few weeks or months ago. I can't even remember now, it's been out for a while. They've come out with their first lot of DLC, so this is the MotoGP Legendary Bikes pack. So this is $10, gives you an additional 29 historical riders, 18 teams, and 14 new bikes. Ranging in years of vintages from 1992 through to 2006. So getting through all the stuff of the era when I was sort of when I was driving and looking at some of the cool stuff when I was starting to learn to drive and all the cool stuff and watching that and thinking back when I thought that I might actually want to, do something crazy like that. But yeah, so you can relive some of the glory days of motorbike racing through this available now. As I said, again, lots of stuff this week. By the way, has been really light on detail, which I'm always a bit concerned about. But anyway, but yes, if you are into your motorbike simulator and you do have Valentino Rossi the game, then this DLC is available now for you. Alrighty, again continuing on the ground theme, but this time moving away from sports. So we're moving into, so the guys over at SES Software have come out with quite the range this week. So they've got 3 pieces of DLC have come out this week, in the last 2 weeks. So we've got 2 for Euro Truck 2 Simulator and 1 for American Truck Simulator. So for Euro Truck, we have their Pirate Paint Jobs pack. So we've got another one of their sets of paint jobs. You get quite, again, a really set of beautiful graphics, beautiful graphic detail here. You get 8 paint schemes to choose from. Again, one of them is just an absolute cop out. Like, seriously, guys, what is with you guys just doing? There's always one livery that you guys put out with these packs, which is just such a cop out. It really is. Anyway, but the others look absolutely amazing. So if you want to pimp your truck out and sound like a rum guzzling man or woman with massive amounts of facial hair and only one eye, then this is going to be the paint job scheme for you. You also get a few bonus toys apparently, including a pirate and parrot bobbleheads, ship in a bottle, a flag to put onto your vehicle to fly from it, and skull with cutlasses. Not really sure how they're going to fit that into the game, but if they do, that will be kind of impressive as well. But yes, available now on Steam for your favorite Euro Truck Simulator. Alright, as I said, there was a second piece of Euro Truck 2 Simulator DLC released in the last 2 weeks as well. So this one was the Schwarzmuller Trailer Pack. So this is a manufacturer of various different types of trailers, from refrigerated, curtain side, logging trailers, low beds, all sorts of trailers. So you do get 5 new trailers to be able to haul new and exciting loads all around Europe and all around the routes that are available for you in Euro Truck Simulator 2. So yeah, you beautiful, detailed-looking graphical models here. I'm going to assume that they have like give you like new missions or access to new stuff, or can haul more stuff as well. But yeah, so available now if you do want to expand your rolling stock for your Euro Truck 2 Simulator experience. And finally, rounding out from the Truck Simulator release for American Truck Simulator. Okay, this one's just plain weird. Can I just say that? It really is. Anyway, so you get a pack of 20 steering wheels for $3. Not sure on the value of that, but sure. Okay, cool story. So this gives you quite a variety in both color, tone, shapes, design, all made available to you in your American trucking career, in various different ideas for that one. So it gives you something, so you can have something attractive, you can have something garish, you can have something sci-fi, whatever you like. But yeah, you do have 20 different designs of steering wheels, just like the real ones from these are actually real designs, though, by the way. They've all been modeled off Steering Creations Incorporated's designs, and come to life and come to virtual life in American Truck Simulator. So yeah, if you are wanting to add that special touch to your cabin and for your ease of virtual driving experience, this pack is now available now for American Truck Simulator drivers. Alright, sticking with restaurants, staying with vehicles at the moment. So Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 has had its latest piece of DLC come out, and this DLC is just batshit cool. Not going to lie. So this is, of course, the DeLorean. So the DeLorean that was, of course, popularized and immortalized in pop culture through the Back to the Future series of movies, is now available for you to repair, deconstruct, buy, restore, sell, and race for your own Car Mechanic Simulator experience. There are different versions of this as well. There is your standard DeLorean, and there is the sci-fi version of the DeLorean. So the DeLorean DMC-12 has been done, is modeled, is fully licensed. Maybe not so much the Back to the Future part of it, but the rest of it is actually licensed. Looks absolutely amazing. I've just got this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I know whenever these come up, I keep saying I'm going to put videos up about it because I don't cheat with my simulator games most of the time. I actually go through and work through it. So it takes a long time to be able to get up to enough XP to be able to unlock the DeLorean. Just gonna throw it out there. I've still got some work to do, but eventually, I promise, it will appear on the channel. But yes, so looking really cool, loving the look of it. Available now on Steam for your car mechanic simulation pleasure. Alright, continuing on the ground again today. So we've got the guys over at Dovetail Games. So of course, Dovetail Games released Train Simulator 2017. So their annual update is now available for your train simulation experience and pleasure. So as before, as it's the core update is free, is automatically delivered to you via Steam. So if you haven't done it already, just go through and go the check for updates option if you don't have automatic updates enabled, and you will get the user interface and the core updates for the core engine, for core Train Simulator engine to TS 2017 standard. If you are wanting to actually grab the actual extra content that comes with it, don't forget that, well, what it essentially is, the same as what it's been before. You are getting different things added into it that are were available in previous versions of Train Simulator, available as DLC. You get them bundled with it to you. If you're an existing player, you can update and do the update and get the extra routes. What you can also do is you can also update to the Train Simulator 2017 Pioneers Edition as well. Now, the Pioneers Edition is something really interesting, because essentially what it's doing is that it gives you early access to the next generation of train simulators. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the final version of Train Simulator as we've known and seen it for the last 7-8 years. I don't know if this is going to be the last one or not, because the new one is going to be Train World. I think it was called Train World, is it? Train Sim World, sorry, Train Sim World, yeah. So Train Sim World is the brand new, from the ground up engine that Dovetail Games, the Rossi Simulator guys over at Dovetail Games have been working on. So it's not released yet. It's still in-house testing, whatever. But yeah, if you do purchase the update for Train Simulator 2017 to Pioneers Edition, not only will you get all the DLC that you get with the 2017 update edition, you will also get early access to the Train Sim World when it goes into closed beta as well. Now, it is a limited edition version. It is limited edition, so it's limited time only, so they'll only be taking a certain number of purchases for this. I don't know how many that is. Haven't got an answer. I couldn't find an answer for that one. But yeah, if you are wanting to get access to the Train Sim World beta when it does become available for a closed beta, then you will need to update to the Pioneers Edition of TS 2017. So there's some considerations for you there. If you do want to upgrade, the bundle price, it does look like it's around about $45 for those who wanting to do the updates. There you go. Anyway, moving on. All right, so we've got, as I said, but we do have a DLC for that coming out as well. Not all DLC has been updated to 2017 yet, by the way. Some has, not all of it, but looks like a fair bit of it has. But yes, with Train Simulator 2017, the Dovetail Games released the Otaniqua Cho Tijo route add-on. So this goes through South Africa. So this is South Africa's longest and most famous passenger train service. There's a beautiful route that goes from the Otaniqua Mountains all the way through to the Indian Ocean. Looks absolutely beautiful, complete with a South African Railways Class 24 steam locomotive. The journey is cool. The journey has fascinating history, but I'll be honest, looking at the video and the screenshots, I'm questioning the graphical quality of it. I do question it. It doesn't seem to look as good, as polished as some of the other ones that I've seen. But yeah, you as I said, you do get a Class 24 locomotive. You got South African Railways passenger and freight stock as well. You get seven scenarios. Seven career scenarios to go through as well as two free roaming scenarios, which will test your little skills about you delivering passengers and or freight or both throughout this challenging and beautiful 67 kilometers or 42 miles of track. But as I said, it just graphically, I was expecting better. I really was, particularly for $30. So yeah, I was expecting better. I was expecting better. But anyway, if you do want to grab this, this is available now for you to purchase on Steam. Alrighty, so continuing on with the news this week. So this time we're moving into different territory. So you've heard me talk about what previously about Command and modern air naval operations. So this is their next piece of DLC. So $3. So it's a very affordable piece of DLC now. Command Live, as I said before, is a fascinating. It's the true sort of success of the Harpoon sort of era of reality simulators, tabletop wargaming, as it were, and simulation wargaming. This proposes a very, very real scenario of what happens if things that are going on in the South China Sea get hot. So yeah, very interesting scenarios, a couple of scenarios to get played out here. Very politically apt at the moment, and very interesting, and very quite kind of frightening as well. So yeah, if you do enjoy your Harpoon style strategy games where it's a lot of nitty gritty detail here. Like the level of detail this sim goes into is batshit insane. It really is. Believe me, I've lost many fleets with this, trying to master this. But if this is your thing, this scenario pack is a very interesting scenario pack to go along with. Obviously, literally there are hundreds, possibly even thousands of community-made scenarios. But yeah, this one's a very interesting one and very well thought out. So yes, available now for you armchair commanders, available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving into... Actually, sorry, no, back onto the ground for a second. I did almost forget. So, the guys over at Just Trains, so the terrestrial-bound side of our friends at Just Flight, so they've released the Malmesbury Branch route add-on. So, this is a branch line that runs through Wiltshire, the GWR line throughout the late 1800s and going into the mid 20th century. So it is very, very interesting. It does have a couple of warnings, but it is fully compatible with Train Simulator 2017. You get a brake van. You get some very interesting stuff to go with some other actual trains, utilizing the default trains that come with Train Simulator. You get 5 scenarios in there covering passenger, freight, and mixed train services as well. But there is a note in here as well that if you did purchase a Train Simulator after 2012, you will need to buy the European Loco and Asset Pack for it to all display correctly. And the Riviera line of the 50s, which is available in Train Simulator 2016, or alternatively, if you are coming in new to the train world in 2017, you may have to pick that one up as well. So just FYI. But yes, available now from Just Train's website over at justtrains.net for the special introductory price of $9, normally $14. Right, okay, now we've done with that, let's move into the flight simulation world, because I know we've all been waiting for that. Funny enough, there wasn't not as much happened in the flight simulation world in terms of product releases as I was expecting. But we did see some interesting ones released. So what we saw as well is we saw the... release from Flight 1 software. So this was their release of their GNS 430 and GNS 530 units. So this is them essentially taking on the guys over at Reality XP with their GTN series of gauges. Well, Flight 1 has their own GTN series as well. But yeah, this is, the 430-530 combination is a very interesting combination and is actually seen a lot in real world aviation for aircraft that do have uh, dual GPS avionics suite, which is very common with IFR certified aircraft. So essentially, your 530 is the big one with the big moving map display, essentially very similar to the one that you've got the default in the FSX. And the 430 is the smaller one with not a bigger screen, but still has all the same functionalities. It's very highly detailed, as you come to expect. It's even got a little, the configuration utility even has a little bit of a thing. Don't know how whether they're supposed to be able to do this or not, but it actually looks for any of your aircraft that you've got installed that would normally accept a Reality XP gauge, and will inject the GNS gauge in there for you. So kind of cool. Kind of cool with the fact that you don't have to, you're not restricted to GTN, you don't have to put it in manually. It will automatically put it in the cockpit for you with the gauge sniffer. But interesting. Anyway, that's beside the point. The part I don't like, is the fact that there's no bundle package offered. So in aircraft, the 430 and 530 are invariably seen together. They're combined together because of the slot sizing, because of the functionality. Essentially, the 430 acting as a backup to the 530. And that's a common thing that's modeled. Now, what I don't like is the fact that there's two things I don't like about the way Flight One are doing this. So the first thing I don't like is the fact that you can't buy the 430 and 530 as a bundle together. You have to buy them each separately, and they're each $50. Well, they start at $50. So then beyond that, you then have two versions of each of the 530 and the 430. One for FSX and FSX Steam Edition, so covering FSX, Acceleration, Box, Gold, Deluxe, and Steam Edition. And then you've got a version for P3D, which, by the way, is $15 more expensive, just for shits and giggles. So yeah, and there's no option to bundle this all together for those of us who might, for example, want to have both the 530 and the 430, or for those of us who would like to be able to use multiple simulation platforms like FSX and P3D. We would like to switch between the both because we have our own reasons. I really dislike this. And I think that this is... I'll be honest, it's shit. So, as beautiful as these gauges are, and as much as I'd love to have them, I'm not getting them, simply because of the fact that this is very poor business practice. The worst part is that not only is it, I feel it's poor business practice and, quite frankly, money grabbing, it is becoming a common practice where it's felt that that's fine, we'll just go and charge you everything. And it's like, well, hang on, I'm buying your product. Essentially, I'm buying the same damn thing twice, 4 times really, and yet you're not going to give me some form of concession for being a loyal customer? Yeah, no, thank you, no. So yeah, anyway, look, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it for what it's like. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. The gauge looks beautiful, really well modeled, really well done. But yeah, sorry, do not agree with the business practice. Anyway, if you do want to grab this and do want to pick them up, they are available. As I said, $50, $50 for the GNS 530 or the 430 for FSX and Steam Edition and all the variations thereof, or $65 each for the 530 or the 430 for your P3D version, or you can just spend $250 and get all 4. Anyway, so yeah, available now from the Flight One store. Available now from them and them exclusively. Alrighty, continuing on with the flight simulation world, of course, this week. Well, of course, last week we saw. Well, it was actually just after the NovaWrap the week before, actually. So, the long-awaited FTX Global Germany North has finally landed. So, look, if this is anything to go by, previous FTX regions, it's going to be stunning. Interesting that they have put into that with the fact that it's going to be 2 regions, so it'll be FTX Germany North, Germany South. There were some that sort of was suggesting it was going to be 4. No, so it looks like it's only going to be 2. Germany North, Germany South. So this is going to covers the scenic coastlines, the offshore islands, mountains, and a lot of things like that as well. And comes right to the edge of the border where it's going to be. And apparently they do sort of cover the fact that there are differences between East and West Germany, which there are. Having lived over there myself, you really can tell that. And very interesting. And also, as I said, they put in a few little Easter eggs here and there, and sort of military bases and things that might be recreated and stuff like that. So looking forward to going exploring for that one. There's a side note that there's over 90,000 individually placed and assigned power line pylons. I'm like, seriously, what poor intern got stuck with doing that? I feel your pain. I'm going to appreciate probably only about 10,000 of them, but I will appreciate that you put all 90,000, over 90,000 of them there. But I feel for you, I really do. Anyway, but 386 airports have been upgraded and or added. Photoreal has been put in for the ports of Hamburg, Bremerhaven, other mining locations like Thyssen Works, and also these photoreal cityscape of Berlin has been put in as well. So looking pretty damn amazing. As I said, available now from Flight Sim Store, looking absolutely spectacular. Look for more of that coming up soon. Alright, moving on to other flight simulation releases for the last couple of weeks as well. So we saw the guys over at Italy Sim Design. So Italy Sim Design, they've been gone for a really long time. Like haven't been around for a while. I last heard of them back in the FS9 days, and really heard much of them since. But it seems that they have come back with a vengeance. So they have come back with Lamezia 2016, which is correct as of start of operations on July 21st, 2016. So much more up to date than anything else around as well. It's principal airport of Calabria area. Usual things that we're expecting to see. So detailed airport objects, up to date. Taxiways, lights, looking amazing with HD textures, all the rest of it. What's interesting is that it comes with an AIRAC update for when it went live with the new runway. So yeah, that's interesting and kind of cool. They have made it fully compatible with both default and FTX Global and European LC as well. The other thing that's interesting as well is that it's only for Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D version 3. Very interesting. It's quite rare that we see something come out with such a limited scope of development, but they have done so. And as I said, it is available now from the guys over at available exclusively on Sim Market. Fairly affordable though, only about only €13. So yeah, fairly affordable. But as I said, very interesting for this one doing as well. As I said, looks reasonably good. As I said, I haven't had a chance to look at the detail, but the screenshots make it look reasonably good, and for the price, yeah, not so bad. So there you go. Available now from Sim Market. Alrighty, and rounding out the release news, and this will be providing a great segue into Flight Angels as well, is the guys over at Turbulent Designs. So the guys behind some of Orbix's very successful and some of their very high quality airport releases over the last few years as well, and guys instrumental in bringing some of the airports to life in Dovetail Games Flight School. So the Turbulent Designs have gone on their own, and they've released their first two solo efforts. So they've released the L35 Big Bear City Airport and 203 Angwin Parrot Field in Napa Valley in Northern California. So they have made this, so we've got one in SoCal, one in NorCal. So these have been made to work both with default and with FTX Global and NorCal and SoCal, blending beautiful 30cm photoreal terrain. Each of these does actually come with a bonus strip as well. So you will get you do get a second sort of strip in the mountains from L35 Big Bear Airport, and you also get another Pope Lake Airfield just to the north of Angwin Parrot Field as well. For those who might have visited, I haven't had a chance to play with L35 yet, but I did have a chance to play with 203 Angwin Parrot Field as part of the Flight Angels charity live stream. I did explore that, spent a bit of time exploring that and doing some circuits and visiting the second airfield in A2A's Comanche. But one of the things, but I do want to highlight though here is the fact that the Angwin Parrot Field all funds, every cent that you pay for that one, and it is only £5, which is batshit insanely cheap, by the way, for the amount of detail, incredible detail that this add-on offers. What it also does is all of those funds will be going to 100% of those funds will be donated to the Over the Wall charity, which is part of the Serious Fun Camp network for sick children throughout the UK and around the world. So that's a really cool thing. The fact that you are getting an amazing piece of scenery and you're doing something really great for sick kids. So there you go. If that's not a incentive to actually go out and buy something, I don't know what is. But yeah, absolutely insane. It looks amazing. Have a check out of the video that I did when I was wandering around as part of the charity live stream. You're watching a little bit of it now. And I'll put a link down in the description below for you to have a look at it. But yeah, there you go. But before I move on to close it, but yeah, sorry. But yeah, that is, as I said, that's £5. And the other release, the L35 Big Bear City Airport, which is a bit more of a developed airport. Not quite as a challenging an approach. That one is available for £17, or your regional equivalent, available now from turbulentdesigns.co.uk. Now, before I get on to wrapping up for the from the events of last weekend, I do want to. There is one final release to have a look at, and that would be Children of a Dead Earth. Now, this was kind of quirky, kind of weird. This popped up on my radar probably about 3 or 4 months ago, briefly when it was in early access and sort of very, very early access, looked very basic. But it has gone full release now. It has gone to full live, full release as of this week. Long story short, this is what happens when you mix Kerbal Space Program with space engineers and you give it weapons. Yeah, really kind of cool. Really kind of weird. Very niche market. Not everyone's going to like it. It gives you a lot of. You can tweak just about everything in this, but their fundamental thing is the fact that they have made it the most scientifically accurate space warfare simulation ever made. That's their tagline, and they are proud to wear it. So, which means that they've got incredibly accurate orbital dynamics. All the weapons and all the things and all the structures and all the things that you feature and can build in here are very much real things right now, or are being worked on, built, and have the research papers to back up all the science that goes into it. So there's an incredible amount of science that's going into this. Looks weird, very cool, and all scaled 1-to-1 for our solar system. So it's all about our solar system. And it has full in-game mod support as well. So if you've been curious about wanting to blow things up without mods and stuff in Kerbal Space Program, this might be something for you to have a look at. Looks absolutely fascinating. It really does. Not sure if it's going to be for me because, as I said, there's a lot of reading that has to go into it. But yeah, looking kind of interesting. But yeah, there you go. So yes, that is available now on Steam. All right. As I said, that now wraps up the release news for this week. But as I said, before we go, we're going to wrap up, recap on last week. So as I said, last weekend, I was involved in the brilliant, amazing, incredibly awesome 24-hour live stream event that brought together a whole heap of YouTubers, including Belgio, Frugal Sim, Cat Strader, the Northern Alex, Airline to Sim. We were all there. We got to speak with and talk with a whole heap of flight simulation personalities. There was a absolutely fascinating discussion with Matthias Kocher from Aerosoft. That was absolutely fascinating. Really interesting. I don't necessarily agree with many of the points that he made, but it was fascinating, and it was just a really great experience. And speaking to the X-Plane developers, and just David Lovebryce from over at Iris as well, just speaking with them, and just incredibly amazing, great stuff. Some great giveaways were going as well, and all to raise money for the 3 amazing children's charities and their work around the world. So far, the final numbers are still being calculated, but we know at least that we raised over $40,000 US for these 3 amazing charities around the world. That is just an incredible commitment from you guys who are watching this, and all of our fellow simulation community members. We all pitched in to help out the kids around the world. It was just an amazing event, so much fun, and thank you to all of you guys who gave a little, a lot, or just were there for us in spirit, because it was absolutely amazing. An incredible event. I don't do a lot of streaming. I don't do a lot of streaming, but it was so much fun. It really was. And doing it all for a great cause, even better. So yes, so thank you all. If you haven't donated yet, but you still want to, you can still donate just by heading over to flight-angels.com. Donations are still being accepted, so you can read up on how to do that. And yes, we accept PayPal, and they do accept PayPal donations. So there you go. Alright folks, that does now wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like this video, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe, because, that's awesome, and share this video with all your friends and fellow simulation fanatics, because, it's always great to see you guys, and it's always great to help you guys and give you guys information. Yeah, that is, anyway. Alright, anyway, so yes, do all that. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.